We can have no peace. We can have no joy without someone always trying to come and steal it.
Hi lollies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda's channel. Thank you for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload videos, you'll be the first person to be notified. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of ours, you guys are the real MVP. So lovelies, if you've not seen these sinners that have been trending all over the social platforms, why not just, do your girl a favor to go see this movie, because this is taking a turn on the social platforms. Everyone have so many, positive but negative reviews about this. But in today's video, I'm just gonna, talk about the stage that's a lot of, black people are talking about how this has everything to do with births, the way at which black people have been treated within the pan-colored people. Lovely.
Last thing I'm going to say about sinners today. It is such a damn shame that this country, every time any black people in this country try to build wealth, do anything prosperous for our communities to get ahead and to take back, honestly, all that has been stolen from us, all the wealth, the prosperity, the love, the joy, the hope, whatever, this country really tries to take it away. Like, it is diabolical that after surviving all these vampires, making it through the night, these white people were about to light up the juke joint. We can have no peace. We can have no joy without someone always trying to come and steal it. I mean, even on TikTok, all these little trends. And I mean, now dry brushing is popular. And like, I'm seeing that like a bunch of white people are figuring out like black women and black people know how to moisturize and keep their bodies oiled up. And that's why their skin looks so good. And one day, I'm sure that shit will be rebranded into Scandinavian dry brushing and Scandinavian body oil. Like, be so for real. It's always something. It's always something. And it's just so disheartening because I feel like black communities, black people could have prospered. Could have prospered. And I mean, yes, we still do. We rise above, rah, rah, rah. But like, just the amount of things that have been stolen from us and stolen from a lot of people in this country, not to just talk about us. So shout out to Mr. Coogler for keeping his money and making a deal that allows him to continue to make money on this film that is his idea and that is an incredible idea. Because we have seen them try and continue to try to take that away. Every day. Girl is tired. We're all tired. We're tired.
As a black girl from the South with a white dad, I understand what Mary was trying to do in Sinners, because I actually went through a very similar, very scary, same situation when I was like 11 or 12. The police came to our house. Mind you, they weren't there for us. Something had happened in the neighborhood or something. I don't know. They were there to ask us questions or something, get some information. They knock on the door. I answer the door. Obviously, I'm a kid, but I could tell they were surprised to see me. They were like, oh, okay, black family lives here. Got it. They're like, so are there any adults home? My first thought is I'm gonna go get my mom, right? Because my mom was who I thought handled everything. So I got my mom, walked to the door, and I'm standing there, and they're asking her all these weird questions like, are you the homeowner? And my mom's like, yeah, I own the home. And they're like, oh, how many people live in the home? And I'm thinking, even at 12, I'm thinking, but they're not even, I thought they weren't even here for us. Like, we didn't do anything to have the cops like come over. Like, what's going on? But as soon as he asked my mom how many people live here, my mom didn't answer the question. She turned and looked at me and she said, go get your dad. And at this point, now I'm really confused because my mom has never deferred to my dad ever like that. I go get my dad, who is a very large 6'3" white man. And he comes round the corner, and I swear to God, with my own eyes, I watched the cops, both of them, switch up their body language. At first, their hands were on their belt right in front of them, They dropped their hands when they saw my fucking dad. And so he comes to the door, and he walks through the door. He steps aside. Him and my mom lock eyes for a minute. They don't say a word to each other. And my dad walks out the front door and closes the door behind him. And me and my mom are in the house. And it's just kind of silent. And I'm just looking, because I still, as a child, I don't really understand what I'm watching happen. And I want to say 30 seconds later, literally 30, my dad walks back in the door. Cops are walking out of our driveway. And my mom's like, what happened? My dad's like, oh, they're looking for some, like, blah, 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 like, whatever, no big deal. Interactions with the cops are terrifying for us. Even if you're a middle-class Black person. Honestly, in a lot of ways, especially if you're a middle-class Black person, because they get very angry when they see what we have. They get very angry when they see what we've accomplished, what we can afford. When Mary went outside in Sinners, I immediately knew what was happening. And I jokingly call my father like our great white shield, right? Because he kind of, really shields my entire Black family. Where Mary messed up was thinking that as a woman, she carried that weight. No, baby, no. White women make this mistake a lot, and I've watched them do it for years. White women mistakenly think that having white skin makes them respected by white men, gets them listened to by white men. No. It gets you protected by white men, absolutely. It gets you infantilized by white men, absolutely. Respected, no. No. Honestly, the only person who should have stepped out of that barn to go talk to them white people was Bo, the Asian man. And honestly, they probably still would have had a few snippy words to say for him. But out of everybody in that barn, Bo was the only person they would have even a little bit kinda listened to.
You know what? I'm gonna say there's one other thing about Sinners, and why it makes me say this, that relationships with white people could be a horror in themselves, because there was a moment in this movie that not only validated something that Black women have been talking about for ages, but in my eyes was a catalyst to every other horror happening. So spoiler alert if you haven't seen it already, but it was a scene in the juke joint where Stack was trying to get Mary, the little white girl, the fuck up out of there. And he says to her, do I need to get one of these field bitches to throw you out? He's talking about Black women. He called them field bitches, not just Black women, his paying customers, his patrons. These are middle-class Black women also, by the way. They're not even sharecroppers or people who work in the field. And he called them field bitches. But what happens next is even more crazy. The fact that he says field bitches and she says right back to him, I wish one of these field bitches would try to fight me. I could fight because you taught me. And this is a phenomenon that Black women talk about all the time. That as soon as a Black man is openly disrespectful to Black women, it validates the inherent anti-Blackness that a lot of white women have and makes them feel like they could be comfortable being disrespectful toward Black women too. Because this is a white woman who has proximity to the Black community. Her mama, nurse, smoking stack and whatever. She is like a 1/8 Black or whatever the fuck. She has some proximity to the community. She's not even supposed to be in the juke joint though, because she clearly knows that she is presenting as a white woman. And she is not fraternized with any Black people up until this point. But as soon as he calls the Black women field bitches, they're bitches to her too. Okay? And in my eyes, this is what makes her comfortable representing Smoke and Stack and their financial interests to talking to the white vampires a little bit later on in the movie. She's like, oh, they'll talk to me. I can mess with them. I can figure them out and see if they would be willing to come up in here and spend money with y'all. Her comfort in representing them, representing the interests of the juke joint, which by the way is supposed to be a by Black people, for Black people establishment that she has no fucking part in, that is the catalyst. That not only gets her turned into a vampire, but that gets her invited in that space and eventually killing and turning Stack, which then turns a whole bunch of other Black people and ensues the chaos and the violence that happens. And this is what we be saying to y'all, that validating white people's anti-Black bias, especially when you fraternize with those white people or you have relationships with them, it only invites more disrespect and violence into the Black community, because you've created a conduit into the Black community by making them feel comfortable respecting or disrespecting Black women. You've made them comfortable with proximity and representation in the Black community. And that ultimately is our downfall.
I don't like vampires. I don't like horror. I don't like interracial relationships with white people, which is its own genre of horror. So I didn't think I was going to like Sinners, but I really did like it. It's a very interesting movie. It's like a cross between like horror, suspense, a little bit of comedy, and even like some musical elements. It's really not like any movie I've ever seen before. So I definitely recommend it. Also, it tickled me as a Ravens fan to see Josh Allen's fiance get it on with Michael B. Jordan. I know they were acting, but still, what can I say? I'm petty, and I know my QB, La Excellence, would never.
Ryan Coogler's Sinners. And yes, there will be spoilers in this. So I knew that he could deliver. There was no question about that after Black Panther. However, I was not prepared for the artistry behind using vampires as a metaphor for toxic progressive whiteness. And let me just clarify here. I am not using whiteness as a term for white people. I'm talking about whiteness as a social construct that has motivated pretty much every single thing in our country since its conception. But I'm sitting here 2 days later and I'm thinking about the fact that Ryan set vampirism in juxtaposition with the Klan in the movie. And I think what's beautiful about it is, the twins stacking smoke. They come into town, getting back from Chicago. They interact with this white gentleman he's giving Klan from the beginning. So it wasn't even like, a question. But then Ryan takes the Klan out of the picture altogether, right? After they bought the property. And then enters these white vampires. The vampires are using this mantra of fellowship and love, right? To try and earn the trust of these beautiful Black people who are just trying to create their own oasis in this juke joint. But the reality was, even in spite of all of the trauma that every Black individual in that juke joint had experienced, including Smoke and Stack themselves, they had already created an oasis of fellowship and love within their own space. The vampires were trying to offer them something that they already had. Not only that, though, the vampires were also trying to take from Sammy what was so beautiful about him, right? His ability to create this surreal experience of music that could transcend both the realm of the living and the dead. And the first thing I thought of was the appropriation that happens with progressive toxic whiteness, right? This idea that just because allies are proximate to Blackness and Black people, they can commandeer elements of our culture like AAVE or the way we dress or our music because they've earned that, right? They've earned it through proximity alone. To hear Remick with this obsession around taking that from Sammy, I was like, wow, how many times have we seen versions of that in the real world? I'm just thinking out loud. There's so much more that can be said. My husband and I are going to go see the movie again just because it was just that amazing. But if I'm right, it's such a beautiful portrayal of the way that racism continues to evolve in our country, right? That it has gone from this very overt racism enforced by the Ku Klux Klan to now this very covert experience of Black culture being taken and appropriated and suppressed through things like fake allyship, cultural appropriation, broken promises around legislation and policy creation that's supposed to protect and lead to the thriving of Black people, but never does. So this is just going to have to be part one because I am blown away. Ryan Coogler has outdone himself.
I'm gonna let y'all know right now, I just came back from seeing Sinners. I'm finna talk to y'all for a minute. If you are Black American, that movie is going to validate so many things for you. That movie validated so much. There was so much. The lore, they had lore for everybody in that movie. That is how you do diversity, because everybody that was in that movie, they had Asian people in the movie, they had Native American people in the movie, they had Black people in the movie, they had white people in that movie, and they showed everybody's lore. There was nobody in that movie just to take up space. Everybody had a place. I heard terminology that I've been hearing my entire life, but I've never heard it in a movie. When that woman said, oh, it must be a Hank. Hold on, what you know about Hanks? That movie validated so much of like the Black spirituality and history and the music and religion. It validated so much, but heavy on the spirituality. I don't understand how Ryan Coogler was able to do that. That was insane. I mean, they had the Native American people. It started with Native American spirituality and lore, And they even had Native American people in there speaking their own language. It had the Asian people in there. It showed glimpses of their Lord. They spoke their own language. But the movie just worked. Ryan Coogler did that. And Michael B. Jordan was amazing in the movie. A dark-skinned black love interest. I was here for it. There were so many calls to black spirituality about letting spirits in. Like, this movie got me want to go sweep the salt. You have to make time to go see that movie. And when you go see that movie, do not get up until the lights come on. Like, it really talked about how, like, music invokes us and, like, how it conjures spirits. And, like, it's just, there's so much. I could talk about this for a straight hour. Ryan Coogler, right now, this probably will be the best movie of the entire year. Whatever awards you get are absolutely deserved. That cast was amazing. That writing was amazing. The cinematography was amazing. The terminology, the script, the dialogue. There were no filler scenes. There was no filler dialogue or anything like that. It was all. Please pay attention to the movie when you go. But anyway, I could talk about this forever. Go see the movie.
Hey, what's up, y'all? So 2 days ago, I had the opportunity to watch the movie Sinners. Before going to watch it, I had seen the trailer. I'm very familiar with the director, Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan, and some of the other really well-known established actors that were also going to be in the film. I had been made aware that I had been getting really great feedback, and so I want to share with you my thoughts. It was an absolute masterpiece. I'm going to say this, and no one has to agree. That was not a vampire movie. That was a movie that utilized the concept, the themes of vampires, the supernatural, to shed light into the realities of the history of the black community, and how even in the midst or within the history of the black community, there are intersections of other communities, demographics, intertwined, right? Which we got a chance to see through the indigenous, native presence in the movie, the Chinese presence in the movie, which was done so amazingly, so thoughtful, so in a way that was very insightful. There was so much symbolism. There was so much emotion. There was so much conflict in regards to this concept of what we want freedom to look and feel like versus the actualities of freedom, and that being a choice that every single person in this particular movie was given a chance to make. Man, I was blown away. Tears definitely were shed, because there was also the components of a lost child. There was a component of the afterlife and being able to reconnect with your loved ones. The scene where it was the past, present, and future influences of black culture, the black community. So beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I've been disappointed in seeing some folks be so disconnected between what the movie was teaching us, reminding us, bringing back to our attention, and helping us remember in regards to, again, how the past, present, and future can all be interconnected. And the only way that we can make sure that we don't repeat the past is by becoming familiar with it, understanding it, acknowledging the pain, the trauma, the injustices, so it doesn't continue to repeat itself, which, without trying to get too politically inclined, is something we're navigating today. And so shout out to Ryan Coogler, from the Bay to the Bay. You did your thing, man. Thank you for continuing to represent. Thank you for sharing these amazing stories, voices, just your imagination, your vision, and how you put it all together. Because the cinematography of the movie, too, had me emotional. Just like, Yeah, 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. And if you're not like fully informed on the various concepts that the movie's going to touch on, don't leave there being upset because it didn't meet your expectations. Leave there wanting to learn more. Be more curious to understand more. And then I'd even encourage you to then go watch it again after you've done some of that research if you, for whatever reason, didn't have that education, that knowledge previously. Because I'd imagine it'd give you an even greater appreciation. And for Miles, the actor that plays Sammy, man, your voice, just your talking voice, bro, I'm envious. Just your talking voice is amazing. And then your singing voice is mind-blowing. So many amazing shout-outs I could give to many actors from the movie. But again, 10 out of 10, highly recommend. Worth every single second. I wish it could have been longer. I'm hoping that there might be a prequel or a sequel, whatever. Like, I just want to watch more.
Personally, I have not seen this movie, but I have been, looking forward to see it. But with the reviews I've been getting, but the top-notch reviews, I think is something that is worth saying. If you don't like me and you've not seen it, I guess it's time for us to go see this movie together. Like the positive review, even when some people actually thought that they were supposed to be included and getting so upset that this was stolen from them and not being included, people are still gonna watch it because this was created and produced by a black person, and it needs to be promoted. So there have been so many scenes in the movie that got people talking, and the way at which everything that is happening now is just be reflected in the said movie. And there is this particular scene that a lady stitched here, which I stitched here, talked about, that got my interest, where she talked about how a black guy in the scene actually was talking to a pan-colored woman, telling her that, do you want me to get these beaches from the field? They field beaches. Like, which in the present, like in the reality, this is exactly what black women is going through. And I like the fact that she said that the way at which some of these pan-colored women disrespect or speak to black women depend on the way at which the black men in their life have disrespected and speaking about black women. And when she said that, it actually took me back to a stitch that I stitched here, I think about 6 months back, where this German woman, who is married to a black man, probably they live in Germany or they live in the state, I don't care where they live, but she's a podcaster, she's all about the social platform, and she came out with her full chest to condemn black women, telling them that they are not family oriented. They do not worship their men. They do this and they do that. They are not family. Negative things to talk about black women. That particular stitch got the whole of internet reacting to the fact that people keep on asking questions. And when people, asked question and did their own investigation and findings, that was when they realized that this German woman is probably married to a black man. And she goes as far as to talk about how black women don't respect their men, don't serve them food. She serve her husband food. She do this to her husband, that her husband can never leave her for a black woman. Like, she was just all coming for a black woman. Seriously. Because of what? Because of what she has been told by her black husband about a black woman. Do you know what baffles me the most about this interracial relationship? When a white man is dating a black woman or married to a black woman, I have never seen this white man talking down to, on a white woman to his black woman. Like, this man dates this black man without talking down on white women. But why is it that when a black man does that, when a black man dates a pan-colored woman, he's more likely to talk down on a black woman? And most of them even goes as far as coming on a social platform with their podcast and talk ill-mannered about black women. But I have never seen a white man come in or to disrespect a white woman, all because he is dating a black man. Black man, you really need to protect your sisters. Because if you don't, these women will keep on disrespecting your sisters, disrespecting the mother that gave birth to you. Because when a woman disrespects your sister, this woman is disrespecting your birth mother. Because it was actually a black woman that gave birth to you, right? Let's not digress. And with other sins and the said sinners, and with the Latino people getting all upset to the fact that they are not included. But the said sinner talked about how, like, people were like talking about how every other person was actually included. Like, these Latino people that is all out complaining about they're not included, you stole this from us and stole that from us. They don't even include their own Afro Latinos in their own Televista, Telemundo, wherever. They don't include even Afro Latinos. So what makes you think that if you don't even include your own people, you want other people to include you? Like seriously. Like, this movie, I think, is a must see for everyone. It has so many positive vibes, even if when some people have their own negativity about it, nobody cares, because we are just so used to, or black people are just so used to doing something and getting negative remarks from people who do not want black people to grow. Anytime some group of people sees that, oh, black people or black person is doing something to grow or something to, like, they try as much as they can to just destroy it because they don't want you to progress. The same thing happened in this NFL. I think I need to stitch a video about it. There's something happening. They don't want to see. They just want to dim your lights. They want you to just be under them. They just want you to Anyway, lovelies, so just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you're here to do that, if you've not done that already. Leave your thought in the comment section, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. So if you've not subscribed to this channel, do your girl a huge favor to click on the subscription button, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one.